Yes. Okay. Now we're up. All right. Let's see if people are able to join us. Welcome back to a live recording of Guide to the Unknown. Live for the first time in 3 months, though we have had episodes going out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Sitting side by side, though we have obviously done that here and there, but Kristen and I are now both fully vaccinated.
Yep.
And in the same bubble, we're good to go.
Hell yeah.
I haven't heard anybody talk about bubbles in a while, actually.
Yeah, I feel like people stopped using the word bubble and started using the word pod. Have you noticed that?
Yes, I have noticed that.
Yeah.
Pod. Pod. Hey, JD. Hey. Welcome back. And yes, it's me, Papa Willie.
Yeah, Big Willie.
Can you tell? Am I completely different now?
Yes.
Things have changed. Yes.
They certainly have.
I have a new gimmick. I think maybe I'll save this. I won't do this on the main show.
Okay.
And you won't be able to hear this here, but they will there.
Okay.
I've got a new
oh, God.
gimmick.
I know what it is.
No, you
Hi,
don't.
KB.
I'm not entirely. Oh, no, I guess you do. I think I did tell you about this one. But I've got a brand new daughter, Zoe, who is now 3 months old. Actually, will be turning a full 3 months on Monday. This morning, she almost rolled over. Don't worry.
Can you believe it?
I'm going to try to spare you all the, like somebody that you like.
Yeah.
In a show or something now has a child, and so it's all they talk about.
Yeah, totally.
But for those of you who do have some interest, hey, get a taste of Zoe. And that's it, just a taste. That's just it. Or, sorry, haven't had enough? Here, have another taste. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not done? You're still not full?
Oh,
There
honey.
you go. But that's it. That's all you're getting, unless you're still hungry. There you go. I wanna have like 80 different, completely different clips that I can throw to that are less than 1 second long.
Maybe we should have like a soundboard like morning zoos have.
We
It's just
could.
Zoe crying for a sec.
Yes, I was trying to figure out how to get OBS to let us hear it here, because it's just her going like,
Yeah.
it's over. But whatever.
I heard the clips that you sent me and I loved them.
Fair enough.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah,
It's
hey,
so nice
everybody.
to see all your names.
Welcome back. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, I said KB hi already, I think. Hi, Christy. Hi, Rachel. I'm glad this is your first live. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Miko, Michelle, Dennis. Hi. Bethany was texting me.
Oh my God.
That she was going to be watching.
Oh,
I didn't know
very
that
cool.
Dennis was going to be watching too. Hi.
Welcome, Dennis.
Caitlin.
And Bethany, of course.
Red Jack. Woo.
Good
woo,
God.
Woo.
Yeah.
Andrea, hi.
This is crazy. And a
Yeah.
lot of this, honestly, I want to say thank you to everybody that has been keeping up with Guide to the Unknown, because obviously I've been gone. And Kristen, I think I said it before I went away for parental leave, but Kristen worked really hard with me to record 15 episodes ahead of me leaving so that the show wouldn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
And not only that, but while I was away, Kristen started doing the Guide to the At Home, which, I don't know, it added new stuff to the feed, but
Yeah.
new, fun conversations with people.
Yeah.
And I think that, honestly, it's awesome to see so many people come back for a live stream here, but also maybe there are a bunch of new people because you've sort of been growing the show even though I've been gone.
I was trying.
You were. And
Yeah.
hey, not just trying. I think you were doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, yeah, of course. Hi, Drew.
Cool, everybody. So, yeah, I think we're going to do something a little bit different, and why belabor it? I think that we're going to have a little more of a laid-back episode this week.
Yeah.
For my return,
Right.
I've got...
Full disclosure, as good a job as we did of banking 15 episodes, we were one short.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess technically...
It was a surprise to both of us.
Yes, it was.
I loaded up last week's episode, and then I was like, there isn't an episode for next week. This is supposed to be through April. Oh, well.
Yeah, but even still, I mean, whatever. We're all good. And, I go back to work
Yeah, I
on
know.
Monday,
I
so
know.
the time has come regardless.
I know.
But
I wanted to give you a little bit more of a stretch before you went to work, but...
all is well. No, I'm happy to be back. I've missed
Yeah, I
doing
know.
shows. And admittedly, I have done stuff here and there. You
Yeah.
know, I've done, voices. I did voices
Yeah.
for American Hysteria. And you and I did something for Books in the Freezer. So, I have recorded here and there, but I haven't done, a full show in months.
Can we talk now? But Which one was that?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, God damn it.
Anyway, you might watch, even though we're back, same old style.
Yep.
You might watch these pictures behind us slowly slip off the wall over the course of the show.
2 of them before that fell.
Yes,
So.
correct. Whatever.
Can we talk about what we did for Hunt a Killer now? Because it's out, right? Isn't it?
I haven't heard anybody reference it
Okay.
to me yet, though.
Okay. I just saw people posting their boxes, so I had assumed that
I don't think they would even know until it's like
it's not in the
a
first
few
episode.
weeks. It is,
Okay.
but they don't get it the second they open the box.
Right.
Pay close
Takes a little
attention
work.
for people that are playing the Blair Witch game from Hunt a Killer.
Mm-hmm.
Listen very close. Look out for an in-universe podcast and see if you hear anybody familiar. I'll just put it that way. I'm sure you can't see. I'm sure you can't read through those lines.
Yeah, right. Oh man. Yeah, it was Ghost Dennis. They're knocking them right off the walls, and
I know.
definitely not just like command strips that aren't equipped for.
I know,
this.
slimy command strips.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's humid.
I know. Maybe.
Whatever.
Red Jack, I'm glad you've been enjoying it. It's not going to continue for now. I've gone through all of the interviews that I had planned. And another that's changed over the last 3 months is that I now have a full-time job that is not flexible. And I don't have the energy to keep doing stuff like that.
Yeah, true. So, well, actually, how do you want to run this? Because
Well,
this
I'm
is
about to say, today is going to be a guide to the at-home with William. That's what this episode is.
Right.
And it's kind of like the guide to the at-home finale.
Yes.
It honestly was just kind of a coincidence, but it works out.
Which, yeah, I think it works out wonderfully because
Yeah.
I have been sort of banking things over the course of 3 months that I
know.
think are worth sharing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I'm honestly, I'm going to defer
Wait,
to you.
KB said, are you talking about the audio? Because I swear I recognize voices or recognized voices.
KB,
I don't know about the order of the way that things roll out because I don't work on it beyond the little thing that I
Sure.
did. But is there audio that... What?
what?
What? Is there other audio that would not...
There's so much audio in Blair Witch.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. KB, honestly, I would say it will be unmistakable.
Unmistakable. I mean,
So if you have a question about it, it's probably not what we're talking about.
you're
Once-
not going to go like, oh, I think I heard what Kristen's referring to. You're going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Red Jack. That means a lot. I really do appreciate that. Thank you.
But yeah, I think I'm going to defer to you broadly if you
Yeah.
want to run this.
Yes,
Yeah.
at home style.
Okay.
All right, cool.
All right, everybody. So I think we're going to start the show. Feel free to chat, send little things. Maybe they'll catch our attention, but we're probably just going to talk to you at the end. Mm-hmm. And thank you for coming back. Feel free
Yeah,
to share
thank
the show,
you.
too. Get
Yeah.
the word out.
This is so nice. I'm so glad we're doing this again.
I know. We've got our friends back.
I know. And it's so nice that Bethany and Dennis are here, too.
That is nice.
That's new.
Does this feel... It feels both comfortable and new.
Yeah.
I will say.
Well, we're in a different spot. You guys can't tell, but we're in a different side of the basement even.
Yeah.
So like it's our same set, but we're not in the same place we usually are.
Right.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It feels both comfortable and new.
Yeah, I had to rebuild the set to make room for Zoe.
Baby. Did you notice her overlook onesie?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I thought that people
Aw,
might
we love
enjoy a
you
little
guys.
Easter
I
egg
really
there.
do.
All right.
I was listening to Bethany on the way here to pump myself up,
Oh, no, really?
get in the social mood.
Bethany is your jock jams?
That's so funny. I was about to say that. Like other people use jock jams. I'm listening to Bethany. Like talk about death.
Do you think jock jams is still going?
I don't know.
Where would that even be now? I
Like-
guess in the edge of Spotify.
37. Oh, like where would it
Jock
live?
jams.
I bet there's a Jock Jams. Actually, I know that there's a Jock Jams playlist because Ryan has played it before.
Well, all right, one of them came out in 1995, but
Mm-hmm.
Jock Series.
Hi, Marilyn.
There's a whole Wikipedia page for Jock Series. Jock Rock, Jock Jams.
Mm-hmm.
Last one came out in 2001. Jock Jams, the All-Star Jock Jams. Hell of a name.
The All-Star Jock Jams.
That's weird, right? They did Jock Jams volumes 1 through 5,
Yeah.
and then they did Jock Jams, the All-Star Jock Jams.
Just call it Jock Jams All Stars
But
or All Stars Jock Jams.
Jock Jams was already a roundup of the All-Stars jock music.
You're right.
So to have a roundup of the All-Star jock jams is so far down the rabbit hole.
It's the greatest hits.
It is. Do you think that, like, just like, you know, like the crew that did Science Theater 3000, like, they still have their, like, spin-off companies? They do, like, riff tracks and Cinematic Titanic
So
or whatever.
Like a Jock Jams.
The guy who founded Jock Jams is still pushing out Spotify playlists.
Yeah, like, I don't know, sports bangers.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be the same but different.
Right.
All right, anyway. All right. Enough about Jock Jams. Here we go.
No such thing.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, welcome to Guide to the Unknown. I'm Kristen.
And I'm her little brother, William.
And if you're listening to this in real time again, this is Will's first episode back with us since he left for parental leave.
It's crazy that for me, I've been enjoying the show weirdly while being away. So occasionally I would listen to one of our episodes that we recorded like months ago because it was brand new on the feed.
Yeah.
Like we went to a psychic last week, as far as everyone here cares. But that was months ago now. And I've missed the show.
Yeah,
And I
me
don't
too.
remember the things that I did or said.
Oh, yeah, never.
And so nobody listening right now cares that I've been gone. But I've been gone for a long time. It's like time travel.
They do seem to.
How could they possibly, though? Because I've been here every week as far as they're concerned.
At least the people who join the lives.
Yes,
Because we do
that's
record
true.
our episodes live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on youtube.com/talkbomb. But I have heard people say that they've missed you even though you've been around.
It's so weird, isn't it,
Yeah.
though? Like, it is, there's sort of like Lost.
like ya.
How on Lost there were like competing timelines of things happening.
Yeah.
But no, it's exciting. And we're doing it live. We're recording this show live right now. And so we've got this chat of people who are here. And like a bunch of people that we used to talk to every week showed up. It's really
Yeah.
exciting. It's
Yeah.
nice. So I'm very happy to be back.
It's awesome. So here's how we're going to run this. You may have heard me do some episodes that I was calling Guide to the At Home over the last few months, where I talked to people I admired about the entertainment that they've been enjoying during quarantine.
So you admire me?
Today, I'm going to be talking to someone I don't admire
Yeah.
about the entertainment that he's been enjoying during parental leave. I have my stupid little brother William here with me, and we're going to hear all about what he's been getting into while he's been home with his new baby Zoe.
Yes, and first of all, let me just say that my baby Zoe is happy, healthy, smiley. She started to giggle recently. We think she may genuinely have laughed. It's
At
sort
a
of
turkey sandwich, right?
yeah. We don't know why, but Allie ordered a turkey club, and it had Zoe
In stitches.
LOLing, raffling, everything the kids say. But no, she's doing great, and it's been honestly. I expected these 3 months to feel like a whirlwind, and I was right. I also expected to really, really miss doing the show, and I was right. And doing my job and writing and like editing and stuff. And I was right about all of that, but also, boy, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice, and I can't believe it's over.
Yeah, of
and
course.
I'm a little alarmed to see how I can balance it all going forward.
I know.
We're gonna see.
I
We're
know.
gonna see
Well,
how
I'll
I
do everything I can to help you.
and I appreciate that. Thank you, Chrissy.
Yes.
So I have, let me share with you something that I've been into. Like I said, I've been into Guide to the Unknown. I've never listened to our show in the way of like, I would sometimes listen to like, see if like, you know, there was like a glitch or something like
Right.
that. But I've been listening because I remember
As a fan.
broadly, I know what we talked about, but not specifically. And so I have an update on a previous episode.
Oh, great.
Frankly, I would want to give this update anyway. But at the beginning of April of this year, we did episode 177, and it was titled Wyoming Scares Us.
Yes.
And in that episode, you and I had each looked up a bunch of things about the great state of Wyoming.
A state which we love and respect.
Oh, sure.
Love the people
Hauntings.
from.
A weird thing about a guy named like Big Parrot Nose Bill. Or
Oh, yeah, I vaguely remember
I've
that.
already forgotten.
Yes.
But who was like killed, and then his skin was made into a medical bag, all this kind of stuff. The point was, Wyoming at the time was the state that had listened to Guide to the Unknown the least. So we were going to cover Wyoming in the hopes to boost those numbers and make another state the lowest listened. So I have some info. In that episode, I think I gave a number. I think I said something like 400 some odd people had ever listened to Guide to the Unknown since the beginning of time. But we recorded that episode months ago.
Right.
So I took note. The second that episode dropped, I looked at the numbers to get a new baseline.
Excellent.
The number to beat when that episode dropped was 978.
Okay.
The moment that episode came out, that was how many people had ever listened to Guide to the Unknown in Wyoming. That episode came out. The episode performed really well.
Yeah.
And so I took a look at how many people now, the new number, as of today, from recording today, a month after the episode dropped. Now what's the number? It was 978. That number, Kristen, Wyoming Listens has skyrocketed to 1,066.
Wow, such great heights.
We got less than 100 listens off of naming an episode after Wyoming.
Damn it.
We named the episode after Wyoming.
Yeah, we tried to pander to them.
Not only did it perform poorly in that state,
Sure.
it is Wyoming. It is still our least listened state.
God damn it.
So we didn't even accomplish that goal.
Why we bother?
I agree
I
with
think
you.
that's where I read the review from that guy who was like mad at millennials.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was wonderful. Yeah, I bet he was listening and told everybody around him not to tune in. Throw
Damn.
out your phones. But it's not all doom and gloom, Kristen, because two other updates from Wyoming. We've got a couple of reviews from people in Wyoming who do listen. So these might be the two people who
Yes.
account for these listens. This first review comes to us from Molinek, who says, Wyoming fan, I love you guys. I've listened for a couple of years now.
Okay.
I had to
They
write
definitely are where the listens came from.
1,000%.
Percent.
1,000%.
Your Wyoming accent.
Yeah. I had to write a review since you covered Wyoming. I live in rural Wyoming, and nobody ever covers Wyoming. You are truly one of my favorite podcasts. You guys just leveled up. And we have this
you.
second review from Crew C91 from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Learned about the podcast from Bigfoot
Collectors Club? Nice.
Funny and irreverent, obvious pandering, great sibling chemistry. Really enjoyed my first episode.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. So we got 2 positive reviews out of Wyomingans,
Yeah.
but the episode did quite poorly in that state.
Well, that's okay.
Outside
I'll
the state
take
did
it.
quite well.
They're all curious about peering into Wyoming.
I know. Yeah, everybody outside Wyoming is just trying to figure out.
What's going on in there? They like don't listen to Guide to the Unknown or anything.
Yeah.
They have like a red-nosed pirate or whatever. There's like a guy who hates millennials.
How do
who
they
gives
even
haunted
live?
theater tours, even though
Yeah.
he doesn't believe in ghosts.
Right.
Like, what's going on there?
Hell yeah. It's a major curiosity to the rest of us.
That's awesome.
So that's an update. Beyond that, I have like other media stuff that I've been into
Okay.
as of late.
All right. Here's what I would like to start with.
Yes.
You teased me and teased
Unintentionally.
our Patreon Discord
Yes.
by saying that you have a theory about how the show Frasier and the movie Candyman are connected.
Yes.
I would like to know how this is.
Okay. All right. You're going to have to bear with me for a moment. A little bit of backstory. Allie and I have recently been rewatching Frasier.
Oh my God, you don't friggin' say. William
You
has
brought it
been-
up just now. What do you expect me to talk about?
I
You're
know,
going to
but I'm
grill
just
me
saying.
from talking about Frasier now?
No kidding, you've been watching Frasier because during the break, William has been harassing me about Frasier. He forcibly put Frasier on in my home.
That's correct.
When I expressly said no, I do not consent to this, and he still put on Frasier.
And you watched about 20 minutes and you said it was pretty good.
I said it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's where I leave it, and yet I feel like I keep talking about Frasier.
That's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
It's a wonderful show. It's
Yeah.
charming.
No.
I know that this is repetitious for many of us, but I did, yes,
Oh, God.
play Frasier in a murder mystery dinner theater production, during which they had to make as clear as possible to all of the paying customers in the room that man in the corner is supposed to be Frasier.
Once again, I remind you, this is Frasier Crane.
We all need to agree for the rest of the evening to work that man is
who
Kelsey
looks
Grammer.
Nothing like him.
No,
Is Frasier.
is Frasier Crane. All right, we all on the same page? Okay.
Let's proceed.
Now eat your chicken. So back then I watched a ton of Frasier to like get a sense of what I was supposed to do.
So you can inhabit the character.
Exactly. Well, I wanted to see how Kelsey did it
Yeah. Oh my god.
to then know how to put my own spin on it. And Kelsey's Frasier is, it's good.
It's his.
It's good, but it's his.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Allie and I started talking about Frasier, decided to put it on, and now we're just watching it. So, yeah, I really, really enjoy it, but something peculiar happened the other day that had me reach for the remote, pause it, turn to everyone and go, did you all catch that?
Who's everyone?
Allie, Allie and the baby and the dog.
Okay. I was like, what the hell do you mean? You had like a party?
Yeah. Anyway.
What the heck?
Oh, hey. Whoa.
What the Frasier?
Whoa. What the Frasier? So, anyway, so Frasier's dad is a cop. All right. He's a retired cop. And they set up in season 1 that there's a particular crime that he couldn't solve back in the day and plagues him still now. And you might expect that this crime would, play out over the course of the entire run of the show. Like they would maybe dangle this forever, but no. It's like season 2, he's like, I had to lay out the papers again. It's just bothering me. And they solve it in the episode. The episode is called Retirement is Murder. And they lay out the suspects of this crime. A woman named Helen was shot and killed. And the suspects were there was like a detective Shelby who found the body. There was some other guy who did one thing, and there was the logger, Daniel Robitaille.
Oh.
Do you know who Daniel Robitaille is?
The name rings a bell. I mean, is that the Candyman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Daniel Robitaille is the name of Candyman. So I paused.
Weird.
I paused the show and I started going, is it possible that a writer on Frasier was a horror fan and was a
Yes.
fan of Candyman?
It's such a weird name, unless that name was inspired in Candyman by something else we don't
Right,
know. Like,
right.
is there a historical figure named Daniel Robitaille, and the Frasier writer is just a nerd?
Not as far as I know. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
started trying to cross-reference Frasier and Candyman a bunch.
Right.
And believe it or not, nobody has made this connection before, which for a moment I said to Allie, this is like a quote from me. I was like, can you imagine if I'm the first person to draw this connection? As if the world would care. As if the world would have any interest whatsoever.
That's like-
Can you imagine?
That's like when you bought the domains butt versus rump, and rump versus butt or whatever.
Still trying to offload those puppies.
I know you are.
By the way, butt versus rump and rump versus butt.com are both for sale. Reach out to me.
Yeah, Will called me like excitedly about this, and I I try to be supportive of my little brother and stuff, but I was like, Will, I don't think this is really like a thing. Like, I wouldn't go nuts like telling people about this or anything. I think it's like you had to be there. It was because it was about the Pete Buttigieg versus Trump potential presidential face-off.
And of course, I noticed that Buttigieg had butt in his name.
Right.
Trump, obviously, with rump. Butt versus rump. It makes a lot of sense, but you got to get both. Butt versus rump and rump versus butt. So I did buy both. I do own both.
Right, and it was like early days where
Yes.
I was like, I don't even know if he's going to be facing off against Trump. It's hard to
Spoiler alert, he didn't.
No, it's hard to understand if you don't know what's going on. I just don't think this is a winner.
But they did pay off because occasionally I still get phone calls from somebody going, hey, is this the owner of Butt? Butt vs. Rump? And I go, well, yes, I am the owner of Butt versus Rump.
Yes,
So that's, its own kind of currency that I get to enjoy.
it's true.
It's not the main currency I'd prefer to have that I spent on those
But
two
it's
domains.
something.
It's something. So anyway, Kristen, the point is I get very excited about stupid things.
Yeah.
So,
Could I be the only one who's noticed this Frasier-Candyman connection?
right. So the suspect in a murder on Frasier has the same name as a killer in horror movies, Daniel Robitaille, the Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the time, I didn't do all that much digging.
Yeah.
Then I posted it on Discord earlier today as a tease that I was going to talk about it in this episode. You saw it. I wasn't
Yes.
expecting you to see it.
Why wouldn't you expect me to see it?
I
Doesn't
didn't.
make any
What do you have,
sense.
like a Google alert for people just typing anything in there?
No, but I checked the Discord here and there.
You checked it at a moment I would have preferred you hadn't. And so I teased it, and then you were like, "Oh my god, we're going to talk about this." And I was like, "I better dot my T's and cross my I's."
Lowercase J's.
Lowercase J's. You also don't dot your T's.
I know.
I think I'm rusty.
That's
So
all right.
I looked into it further, and I even found the script for that episode of Frasier, and I misremembered it, Kristen.
Really?
But I only partially misremembered it. The name Daniel is never mentioned, but it is Robitaille.
Okay.
Which that's also a very specific name, and
It
it's a
is,
murder
but-
suspect killer. I know it's not as fun.
Yeah.
And then I did some more digging, and that episode came out January of 1995, and Candyman came out August of 1995. So let's move on.
Yeah, I think that connection just crumbled. I think.
although
Methinks
perhaps maybe the writer saw Candyman,
an advanced screening
an advanced
or
screening
something.
of Candyman, and then
Or maybe
figured-
Robitaille is just a last name.
Maybe wrote Robitaille and it went like, people are really going to love this in August. They're really going to get this reference when that movie comes out in August.
They're going to be all over it.
So the point is, I just told you an entire story that
Mm-hmm.
was about nothing.
But who hasn't been there?
Exactly.
Thought that they heard something, thought they made a
Sure.
connection about whatever, get really excited, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's not a
Yeah,
thing.
just remember, everybody, this is our show. We can do whatever we want.
That's right. So just keep that in mind.
And also remember, you're supposed to have missed me.
No, I liked it. I was trying to think, like, with my very limited Frasier knowledge, like, what could this connection be that Will is talking about? And all I could think was that because, like, Frasier and Niles are kind of fancy and vain, that maybe they were doing something in front of a mirror that ended up being, like, Candyman-esque.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's
But-
kind of fun. Right. But there is another connection, another Frasier connection to a movie that
Okay.
you and I do like. That is pretty spot on, but I don't think it was intentional. Frasier has an agent, and she is negotiating for a raise for him. And also, they get drunk and sleep together.
Okay.
And then he breaks up with her in the morning before the negotiations because, as his father said, he's like, if you break up with her after the negotiations, she's going to think that you were just using her.
Yeah.
So he's like, you're right, I better do the right thing. And so he breaks up with her, and she's like, well, thank you for letting me down easily before the negotiations. And it's like, oh, my God, he pissed her
pretty
off
funny.
going into
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
negotiations. And then Frasier gets a call that she's at the radio station standing on a ledge.
Oh, my God.
She's going to kill herself. And so Frasier
There
goes
is
down there.
no way that Frasier is that good in the sack. Absolutely not.
Watch Frasier, and they really make a case for him being quite the dynamo.
There's no way. There's no way.
Quite the dynamo.
But go on.
So Frasier, as a psychiatrist, goes out on the ledge to talk her down, and it turns out she's faking the whole thing because who wouldn't give a raise to the guy that talks a woman off the ledge?
Oh, so she was on his side.
She was on his side still.
Oh my God, these mind games.
Does that sound familiar to you?
No, not right now.
The movie Dead Man on Campus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you would give them a pass.
Yes, which would come out just
Okay.
a few years later.
Yes.
An important moment in the movie is a character being talked down off the ledge, and it's all unbeknownst to the person talking them off the ledge. It's a ruse.
Yes.
Because, hey, now that they all saw you talk me off the ledge, you think they're going to kick you out of school? Mm-hmm. Same exact premise.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? So-
Yeah. So Dead Man on Campus is this movie that came out in the 90s. It's completely awesome.
Okay. So that's more of a win to you
Yeah.
than the Robitaille connection.
I think so. No?
Okay.
You don't think so?
No, I definitely think so.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to make sure I was giving you something of substance.
William, even just talking about it is of substance. I don't really care that the Robitaille thing didn't pan out.
Kristen, I don't want you to be mad at me.
But so everybody understands, Dead Man on Campus is this movie that came out through like MTV Studios.
Yeah.
That is based on the premise that at this college in the movie, these people find out that if your roommate kills themselves while you're in school, then you, as the roommate who had to be close to such a tragedy, get a pass instantly for the semester.
Yeah.
And so they keep trying to court roommates who will hopefully die by suicide while
Right.
they're roommate. It's dark.
It's a dark comedy.
Yes, but it's really good and really funny. Will and I rewatched it like, I don't know, last year or 2
Yeah,
years
maybe,
ago.
yeah.
And we couldn't believe how good it was.
Honestly, I would straight up call it underrated.
Oh, yeah.
You never really hear anybody talk about this movie.
Oh, my God. It's so funny.
Yeah. Lachlan Monroe's standout performance.
Also, to entice you, it's Mark Paul Gosselaar
Sure.
is lead, and Tom Everett Scott.
Yeah, I believe
Yep.
so. Yeah,
It's so good.
really, really funny movie,
Yes,
and like a
genuinely.
black comedy, a dark comedy.
Yes.
There's a moment where, actually, this is kind of relevant to now. There's one of the people that they have move into their apartment, so that they keep moving in people who that they've determined are likely to kill themselves.
Yeah.
So they move in this guy who's super paranoid and believes that Bill Gates is stalking him, which I can't believe it's 2021 and we're still joking about Bill Gates,
I know.
like trying to put microchips in you.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is not up to that.
Right, yeah, exactly. But so like, they want to like hide knives all over the house and stuff. And so at one moment they're hiding in the shower because they were just placing like Bowie knives
Yeah,
and
just, like,
ropes all
everywhere.
over the place, and then he's got all the tools he could possibly need. And so like the guy's super paranoid. And so he thinks that somebody is there, an agent of Bill Gates is there to get him, or Bill Gates himself to steal his brain, whatever. And he like throws back the shower curtain, and it's Mark Paul Gosselaar holding a big Bowie knife, scratching his own neck with it, trying to look innocent.
Right.
Like it's just like, it's very dark.
Yes.
A movie joking about suicide could not happen now.
No way. This movie is definitely in the 90s.
Yeah, definitely in the 90s.
Yeah.
But I will also say it doesn't feel gross to me. There's a surprising heart to it
There
at the end,
is.
I'll say.
There is. Yeah. Highly recommend.
Yeah, highly recommend. Okay, the next thing that I've gotten into, and again sort of relevant to now, the Saw series.
Yep. I have also been doing this.
Really?
Yeah.
We watched Saw 1 together a couple of weeks ago, and the new movie Spiral is coming out May 14th. We're
Yeah.
not sponsored, but Lionsgate, feel free to send us money.
Oh, God. Are you kidding?
How wild would that be if we got sponsored by Lionsgate?
Awesome.
That'd be awesome. Anyway, there are like now trailers and clips of the movie being shared all over the place. Chris Rock is the main character. Samuel L. Jackson is in it.
I had totally forgotten that he was supposed to be in it. So during
Yeah.
the trailer, what a treat.
I know. Did you see there's a new clip that's going around right now of Sam Jackson like walking into a room, and he's got a pen light, like he's like clutching it between his teeth to light up this dark hallway, and he's pointing a gun just in case anybody's going to jump out and get him. And he walks into this room, and painted on the wall in red is, "Do you want to play a game,
Yeah.
Chief Banks?" I guess that's
Yes.
his character. And so they're playing on all of the classic sort of like Jigsaw isms.
Yep.
Like, I want to play a game. All of that stuff is still in there, but it feels new again
yeah.
somehow.
It for sure does.
And even in the trailer, they have a distorted voice, much like how Jigsaw did the like, his voice was low already, but then it would be all crackly
Yeah.
and distorted, being like,
like a phone effect thing on it.
yeah, sort of like that. Like, I want to play a game, but it's all crackly and horrible. This voice is almost like high pitched and distorted.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people have theorized that this is maybe a female killer.
Oh, interesting.
And I keep seeing the comment being like, "Oh, do you think it's going to be a female? Because the voice is vaguely high."
I mean, he puts a filter thing on his voice anyway, so it hadn't
Exactly.
occurred to me.
Right.
I just didn't think about it either way.
But I've got two theories. They're
Okay.
two competing theories. So it's a little bit like having my cake and eating it too if one of them is right. Because that means the other one was wrong.
Right.
But one theory, now that I'm watching some of the older Saw movies, there is a character introduced in Saw 3 that is hinted to be kind of important and disappears. She is the daughter of one of the protagonists of Saw 3. He is ostensibly going through a series of traps, and it's laid out as like, can you get over your, Jigsaw's all about like
Yeah, right.
morality plays. So like this guy had a son who was hit by a drunk driver and killed. And then the Jigsaw keeps saying like, can you get over your thirst for revenge? Or will you like scorn your child's memory or whatever? Can't you do this for your child? And by the end, you realize Jigsaw is specifically avoiding pronouns because he's not talking about his son. He's talking about his daughter.
Right.
The son is dead, and Jigsaw has kidnapped the daughter.
Okay.
And the
I haven't
father-
rewatched that one yet, so I don't remember.
This vengeance-filled father hasn't even thought about the fact that his other kid might be in danger.
Yeah.
And she's sort of a pawn for a few of these like entries. She's sort of being used. Her name is Corbett Denlin.
In the movie, that's her name?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she
quite a name.
she
A lot
was
of name.
in those movies and like a big MacGuffin, and then never used again. But now, obviously, it's been a decade plus.
Right.
And so maybe, if they want to, the new movie, have a tie to the old franchise beyond just Jigsaw will kill you.
Yeah, and like Billy the Puppet.
Right. I feel like it could be that character who's already got a backstory that's rooted in being a former victim of these games.
Rooted in Jigsaw lore.
Yeah, so that's my nerd theory. I don't actually think that's going to happen,
I
but
don't think
if
so
they were
either.
going to try to tie things together that tightly,
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
that's not a bad idea.
I don't think they're going to.
I don't think they're going to
Yeah.
either. I think that voice is a robot. I think that if you
Oh God. What
were
do you mean?
no, like Siri.
Oh yeah, but I don't like that. What do you mean?
I'm not saying that the killer is a robot. I'm saying that this is a digital voice being used and then being modified to further obscure.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
like
that
somebody
makes total
remember
sense.
like you could type something into like an old Mac
Yes,
and then
it'd
a
be like,
robot
"Meh."
voice would read it out. It's that.
Okay.
That's what I think is going on.
Okay. I didn't really think that you thought it was a robot, but just the idea of it being a robot.
Chris Rock versus a robot.
I wasn't happy to even think about it.
Understandably. I think. Understandably.
I am pumped for this movie.
I'm so pumped for it.
Am I pumped for this movie?
I think Allie's back in, by the way.
Okay, nice. I am excited to see it in the movie theater.
Yep.
I am excited to get my crispy Brussels sprouts in the movie theater, and I'm all over it.
I know, we got to pay attention when tickets are available.
I've been looking.
There was a period of time where Allie, I think, really didn't want to go. Saw is just not her.
Honestly, Ryan was kind of on the fence. He was like, Saw is like, what the hell did he say? I think he said like Hostel.
Yeah.
He was like, isn't it like super gory like Hostel or whatever? And he was like, eh. And I was like, honestly, you're not that far off with like the sequels and everything. They kind of are.
Yes.
But there is also a story to it. But this is kind of a whole reboot. And I showed him the trailer. And then he was like, oh, yeah, I would see that.
Yeah, so I watched Saw with you. Then I showed Saw to
yeah.
Allie's brother's girlfriend. And I was like, really, you're going to watch this again? I was like, yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And
Who are you
then
talking to?
I did this coy thing of being like, well, really the only good sequel is Saw 2, so
Might as well put it on.
if you wanted to watch it. I say that primarily because that's what she thinks I was doing.
Yeah.
But we did end up watching Saw 2, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And Saw 2, I think, is
Yeah.
of the equal mix of gore to storytelling as Saw 1. Where
It's a little gorier, but
it's a little gorier. It's definitely there. I'm not going to
Yeah.
pretend that those movies don't have like brutality to them.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what I'll say. I watched Saw 3 and man,
Really?
from the first second,
Yeah.
it is markedly grosser
yeah, I think of
and
everything
more in your face.
past two
Yeah.
as being just mostly just gross, and there's a storyline, but I also start to get confused by it.
Yeah,
Like,
1,000%.
I remember I saw 4 on a date, and it was ending, and I was like, oh God, I like didn't understand that ending or what's going on. And I said that to my date, and luckily he was like, I don't get it either. And I was like, okay, good.
they do get a lot messier. They start just having like 5 different plots running through them,
Yeah.
honestly. Saw 1 and Saw 2 are pretty straightforward, and even they
Yeah,
are
they are.
about mixing up time periods and stuff. But yes, for the second that Saw 3 started, I was like, here it is.
Yeah, black.
Here's the reputation for Saw. Because it starts with a guy like crushing his foot apart with the lid of a toilet.
Man, I really don't remember it.
Yeah, and like they like show every blow, and there's like almost like it would almost be comedic. They have like stock squish sounds.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm going to watch. I want to keep going and watch all of them, but I think it's going to be the kind of thing where I have like one eye on them because I'm just not super duper interested in that, but I want to know the story.
Right.
I want to follow it through, even though I don't think that Spiral is going to be that connected to it. I don't know.
I
It's all
know.
part of the thing.
It's all
I
part
feel
of
like,
it.
feel like
1,000%.
watching it.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
The thing is, they say now that Spiral is meant to be more of the sort of like police procedural thriller.
Yeah, it seems like it.
They've described it as being more like Seven. Yeah, Seven.
Yeah.
Which also was pretty
7's pretty gnarly.
gnarly,
Yeah.
but not as gnarly as the
No.
later Saw entries. But directed by the same, directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, who did Saw 2, 3, and 4, I want to say.
I don't know.
And written by the same guys that wrote Jigsaw,
Yeah.
the most recent sequel, which I remember not
We didn't like
being
it.
that into.
Yeah.
So it is kind of an odd mix
It's an
of
odd-
ingredients, but I'm into it.
Me too.
I'm excited to see it.
I think it's such a cool premise.
It is, and
you know?
I
like the
always
basic
felt,
like jigsaw, putting people in these sorts of weird positions, and it's all about morality and whatever. Like, it's interesting.
at its core, it's about concocting a scenario
Mm-hmm.
wherein you give someone just enough rope to hang themselves.
Right. What is
And-
a Rube Goldberg device? It's not a Rube Goldberg device jigsaw stuff, is it?
Some of it is,
What does
sure.
that mean?
Like a Rube Goldberg machine is like, well, think about the game Mousetrap.
Oh, right,
Like
yes,
you
okay,
roll that
yeah.
ball down the steps and then it hits the paddle that flips the next part of the puzzle together until it sets off the mousetrap.
Yeah, I had that in my head for this, but then I couldn't remember if that's correct
Yeah.
and what that means.
No, it is. It is. I think it's 100% correct.
Yeah.
The entire Saw franchise is kind of a big Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah.
There's even something I didn't pick up on until I was reading some stuff online because I was sponging everything I possibly could. But in the most recent sequel, Jigsaw, they recreate a shot from Saw 3. So they insinuate a character from the most recent sequel, Jigsaw, to be one of the earliest people in cahoots with John Kramer,
Who is Jigsaw?
who is Jigsaw, who is
Right.
the original Jigsaw. They sort of like, and I didn't even realize they recreated a shot.
Huh.
It's so timey-wimey and muddled.
Weird.
But again, it's like, it's fun to watch the core conceit play out.
Yeah.
I've always felt like these movies are a mix of like oddball body horror, plus police procedural.
Yeah.
It's like watching CSI.
Yeah, like a disgusting episode of CSI.
Yes, and I like that.
I know,
I think
I
it's
like a
fun to watch
procedural.
people try to unravel this mystery, and it seems like the mix of ingredients for Spiral is more police procedural
Yeah.
and less gross.
It definitely seems like it from the trailers.
Yeah, I almost feel like it would be interesting just to have like the entire like trap, quote unquote trap that somebody's in. Like at its most simple, a trap in the franchise has been chain two people in a room together
Right.
and let them drive each other insane until they try to cut their feet off to escape.
Yes.
That's the simplest it ever got. Two people sitting in a room. I almost think that a trap in terms of Spiral, if they're clever enough, the trap could be the set of circumstances itself. If we torture this Chris Rock character enough, and understanding the human condition of what he'll probably do in response to, like, leaving these, like, clues and taunts all over the place,
Yeah.
we know he'll probably end up, throwing himself off a cliff. That's the trap.
Yeah, if we drive him nuts enough, and it's going to seem like it's just circumstantial
Yes.
and just his life, but it's actually that's like me when we were kids. Like when I would say that something bad was going to happen to you, and you would never know that it was me, but that it was me. It's basically what we're saying.
You're not wrong. You're the original Jigsaw.
I am the original Jigsaw.
Pre-Jigsaw. If I did
Actually,
something...
when we did that live stream for charity for raising money for bail bonds,
Yeah.
I drew the Billy the Puppet spirals on my cheeks.
That's right.
What if that's a little Easter egg?
Maybe. Yeah.
And I'm telling all of you now.
What if that's a little Easter egg that I'm just now realizing?
That's right, and I'm ruining it for
that
myself.
I've just now caught.
Uh-huh.
Anyway. I also did the voice of Jigsaw for
Yes.
American Hysteria, and I put out a little video where I had the little swirls on my
Mm-hmm.
cheeks when I was showing people how I did the voice.
Good look.
How I did it. Can you believe it? I actually have the clip here somewhere, but whatever. Go listen to American Hysteria.
Yeah, definitely.
So the other thing that this all made me think of in terms of like creating a gigantic scenario and like the trap not being four walls that are entombing you, but like the trap is the circumstances I'm placing
Society.
you in. Sure. Society. We live in a society. Joker. Cool guy.
Yeah. You watched that over your paternity leave.
I did. I watched the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I enjoyed the Snyder Cut.
I enjoyed it fine. I watched The Game.
Oh, yeah.
The David
Yep.
Fincher movie with Michael Douglas. I watched so many Michael Douglas movies.
Because I know, I too have seen a lot of Michael Douglas movies.
I've also seen a
because
lot of Michael Douglas because that
for
thing,
sure,
that
that
thing is
guy-
showing up.
Non-stop.
You see half of it here, half of it there.
Yes.
Between them all, you've seen the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sheesh.
Sheesh, Ben Affleck wishes. Remember when you saw a slice of his Douglas in Gone Girl? It was like a
Yeah.
big deal.
I do remember when you saw a slice of Ben Affleck's Douglas. Remember when you saw a slice of his Douglas? Put your Douglases away.
Stop playing with your Douglas. It's for in your room.
Oh my God.
But no, Michael Douglas is in like a million thrillers.
Yes.
So if you're looking to watch a thriller, which I often am, and Will is too, you're gonna be watching a lot of Michael Douglas movies.
Holy
I know.
guacamole. He is in them.
All over the place. But he's great.
He is
love
great.
him.
I like him. I other ones that I watched here. Fatal Attraction.
Yep.
I
love
watched.
It.
We watched Basic Instinct.
Yep. Love it.
Like all of these like 90s.
Did you watch A Perfect Murder?
No.
I told you. Damn it. You
No,
have
I
to.
don't think I did. I will. I've got.
have to.
I've got no reason not to. And we've been watching so many
it's
movies.
It's a trailer line, so it's like not a. It wouldn't be a spoiler anyway. But there's the weirdest line that like things hinge on in that movie. It's that he says to Gwyneth Paltrow, "That's not happiness to see me, is it?"
That's not happiness to see me, is it?
That is a pivotal line. Like that gets called back to.
Oh, really?
That's not happiness to see me, is it?
Is it because one character is like, what the hell does that
What
mean?
does that mean? No, it's so strange.
Say, Frank, the other day you said something to me, and I just can't get it out of my head. What were you talking about? Anyway, I watched The Game, which is very much like a Saw movie
Yes.
with no gore whatsoever,
Yep.
really.
Yeah, the dream.
Yeah, exactly. If your dream was to watch a Rube Goldberg machine scenario where people are driven insane,
And Michael Douglas is there.
and Michael Douglas is also there, watch The Game.
Yeah, it's really good, right?
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's also like an escape room thing, which
Yes, it
obviously
is.
Saw is as well. But like Michael Douglas is signed up. It's a gift. He's signed up for The Game. And it is this thing. They ask you a million questions. They want to learn your personality. They want to know your physicality. They want to know everything about you.
Yeah, because they're going to tailor like a life-changing experience to you.
Yes, it reminded me when we talked about the Jejune Institute.
Yes, it is kind of like the Jejune Institute. Like he goes to this place and he thinks he can fill out this like survey on his lunch break, and it looks like a high-tech lab or something. And they're like, "No, we need to have you here for hours or whatever." And yeah, it's a whole thing.
And so, like, everybody he meets could be somebody playing a role here. He doesn't know who to trust. At a certain point, the game starts to twist and stop being this, like, thing that you're in. It's almost like a secret society.
Right.
You've got to, like, play this thing, and, oh, it's weird. It's like, a mix of, like, fiction in your reality. It takes place over the course of, like, months, it seems,
Yeah, it's
by
like
the way.
an ARG.
It's like an ARG that you kind of wish you could stop being
Right.
in. But it starts to twist when he goes back to the building where he took the test and the floor is like cleared out. And he finds out that his
So
like
fun.
bank accounts are getting cleared out. And he's like, was this a scam? This was like a ripoff thing? And so he starts going completely insane. I don't even want to spoil where it goes.
It's really good.
But The Game, I know that this is not news to many people, but I'll recommend it all the same.
I feel like it isn't a big deal though.
It's
It's
not.
older, but I think it's something that kind of like fell through the cracks. It's
Yeah.
a David Fincher movie.
Right.
It's really good.
It is wonderful. So I highly recommend that. And also all of these thrillers. I'm just going to throw out some thriller
Do it.
names. If you haven't seen these, you've definitely heard people talk about these. You've definitely seen movies reference events from these movies. Like I said before, Fatal Attraction. That's where Glenn Close like boils a bunny and says, "I will not be ignored, Dan."
She is so good in that. And similar to Joan Cusack in Addams Family Values, where it's like you don't see Joan Cusack playing the sex pot a lot.
Right.
You don't see Glenn Close playing the sex pot a lot.
True.
And she's great.
Yeah, no, she's absolutely wonderful
Yeah,
in
you
it.
totally buy it.
I do recommend Basic Instinct, honestly.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Primal Fear, I watched recently.
Is that Richard Gere?
That's Richard Gere and Edward Morton Jr.
Edward Norton?
Ed Norton. I was close. What do you think of that?
Edward Morton Jr.
I was very close.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Look at you.
If I hadn't gone with
Dad
Junior,
brain.
oh God, if I hadn't gone with Junior, I would have
Yeah.
only been one letter off.
That's true.
Edward Morton. It's funny how much that changes the
It
entire
really
guy.
does. It changes the whole vibe.
Changed the whole man. We watched Cape Fear.
Oh, that's good.
That-
That's an intense movie.
That is a whirlwind.
Wowie, wowie, kazowie. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that in a while, and I've been wanting to. It's been this thing where, like, I've been like, oh, should we watch Cape Fear or this? And we've ended up watching the other thing. But I've seen Cape Fear several times.
Cape Fear is Robert De Niro, He is let out of jail, and he is going after the man that put him away. Mm-hmm. And he has...
And his whole family.
And his whole family. He has nothing to lose. He has studied a lot in jail, and he is beefed up, and you cannot stop him. You can't stop him.
Oh, boy.
There are moments where he's, like, harassing
yeah.
the guy by, like, lying down on the wall of his property. Mm-hmm. And so the guy calls the cops, and he's like, this guy just got out of jail. This guy that I helped put away, he's just sitting on the wall staring at me. They're like, sir, is it your wall?
Right.
He's like, it's my neighbor's wall. And they're like, well, then, I mean, what do you want us to do? He's allowed to be there. What do you want? It's all that kind of stuff. When somebody knows exactly what they're technically allowed to do.
Yes.
And you can't prevent them from doing it's almost like that childish game of like can't get mad. I'm not touching you. Can't get mad, but you're like waving your hands all over their face and stuff. And it's like at a certain point, if you couldn't walk away from that person, it would start to drive you insane. Mm-hmm. But also, Robert De Niro is not going to stop there.
Oh no,
he takes it a lot farther.
He sure does. Who is the lawyer? I don't remember.
I was trying to remember. Let me just look it up real quick because it will bother me.
I know that his daughter is Juliette Lewis.
Yes.
And the wife is Jessica Lange.
Right.
So it's a star-studded cast, but I can't remember who plays the actual lawyer. And it's Robert De Niro at like his scariest.
Is it Martin Balsam?
Martin Balsam?
No, it's not. It's
okay.
Not. Is it Gregory Peck?
You know what? I was going to say Gregory Peck, but also Cape Fear. This is a remake. I think he was the lawyer in the first one.
What's wrong with me?
Why can't you see?
Who did it? Who did this?
Give me this.
Wait, it says it in there. I figured it out. Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte.
It's Nick Nolte.
Right. You don't see a lot of Nick Nolte anymore.
You don't. No. And you certainly didn't see Nick Nolte in the movie.
No Nolte nor Douglas.
Listen, I'm fine with a Nolte or a Douglas being in a movie. I'm just saying, Michael.
It's notable.
It happens a lot.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Happens a lot.
I wonder if he's thrown out his Douglas in the Kaminsky Method. That's the show that he's on now.
With Alan Arkin?
Yep, with Alan Arkin.
Oh, man.
They're like actors. I actually really want to watch that show.
Do you think we
Seems
see
fun.
Michael's Douglas and Alan's Arkin?
In the Kaminsky Method?
In the Kaminsky Method?
Maybe that's what the Kaminsky Method is.
Oh, what?
Showing just a hint.
Showing just a part here and there.
Yeah.
You know how like there's that gag on Arrested Development that people discovered way after the fact, where Job goes like, in early in the episode, he's like, I can barely fit in these fucking pants.
Uh-huh.
And then they cut, and like 20 minutes later, they replay that moment, but it's him going, yeah, these king pants are killing me.
Yeah.
And so if you cut the two together, he said the full word.
Right.
They just cut it.
Yeah.
So that they could sneak it through.
Yes.
But the full word is there. It's just not cut together. So that's what Michael Douglas is up to. A little bit here, a little bit there. Mm-hmm. Before you know it, you've seen
got
it
the whole
all.
Thing. Yeah.
It's too late. You've seen it all. I also finally caught up on Bird Box.
Oh, what'd you think about that?
You know, I was fine with it.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it.
I liked it.
And it played in an interesting way today, where I remember people doing the Bird Box challenge. It's that movie where you shouldn't look at the thing or you'll go insane and kill yourself.
Yeah, so it's like Sandra Bullock wandering around with a blindfold on.
Yeah. And a plot point in the movie is that there are these people who, the threat out there that you're looking at is some sort of like, H.P. Lovecraft, otherworld demon that to some appears like an angel. And so for some people, if they look at this thing, if they don't wear their blindfold and they look at it, they go like, oh my God, it's beautiful. You all need to see it. And it'll turn people into anti-maskers who try to pull your mask off.
That's so weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
And it's just what's been going on. We've just been living in Bird Box. I know the Bird Box challenge was a thing, but like...
What was the Bird Box challenge?
It was where...
It's just walking around with a blindfold?
Yeah, like dum-dums would like drive a car with a blindfold on.
Oh my God.
It was a thing for a while. It was, in that way that like planking was a thing, but you don't know anybody who actually did it.
Or owling, which is where you just perch like an owl.
Oh, that reminds me. I also saw a raccoon.
Oh my God, that's right.
It's terrifying.
A raccoon like screeched at will.
There was a night where Molly the dog was outside barking in that alarm bark. She barks a lot anyway, but she was really barking like intensely, and I heard Allie go out, and then I didn't want to make her just have to be out there alone. So
I thought you were saying I didn't want to go out, and I was already shaking my head like, no.
so I didn't want
No
to go
way.
out there.
Don't
Allie
go
had
out.
it. But so I went out, and Al had already told me that there was a raccoon. But I went out, and Molly was barking at the top of the fence, and it was like pitch black out. So my eyes hadn't fully adjusted yet, and so I found Molly, and then I found where she was looking, and I couldn't figure out what the hell I was looking at. And it took me a few seconds longer, and then I realized it was a raccoon staring daggers at me, growling with its teeth bared.
Oh my God.
And its teeth, I swear, were glowing in the moonlight. Truly though, once my eyes focused, I
Yeah.
could see like every tooth, and it was horrifying.
That sounds so
I had no
scary.
idea that raccoons growl. It sounded huge. Like I guess their growl maybe is to like
Right.
compensate for size. Like it sounded like a large animal. It was like this like, and it wasn't small, but it was
Right.
this like little thing sitting on top of the fence.
That is so scary.
I ended up getting Molly away because I pushed a Swiffer wet jet at it.
Yeah. Hey, whatever works.
And it did. It certainly did work. I also watched Event Horizon.
Oh, okay. What is that?
Event Horizon.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Is it with Kurt Russell in a plane?
No.
Okay.
Why? What do you think that is?
I don't know. Go ahead. There's a thriller movie that Dad had that I have on DVD at home now. That's like completely ridiculous. It's an Air Force One ripoff starring Kurt Russell.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell
It's like a clean.
airplane movie.
Oh, I think I thought it was a clean ripoff, but it came out before Air Force
Oh,
One.
Executive Decision.
Executive Decision.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is funny. Kurt Russell airplane movie was one of the top autocorrects. But no, it's not Executive
Event
Decision.
Horizon.
Executive Decision sounds like a Seinfeld movie.
Yes, it does.
You know, when they like go to see Chunnel or Death Blow.
Or prognosis negative.
Prognosis Negative. Go see Executive Decision. Honestly, so does Event Horizon.
Yes, it does.
Event Horizon is a space horror movie
Okay.
where Sam Neill is part of a team that recovers a ship. Lawrence Fishburne is the captain of the vessel that is going out there to get the ship back, the Event Horizon.
Okay.
The Event Horizon is a ship that can punch through the fabric of time and space
Oh.
so that you can travel far distances. And so it essentially tears a hole in reality.
Yeah.
And where it tears a hole to is hell.
Oh, okay.
And so in this movie, people travel to hell. And Sam Neill rips his own eyes out.
Is it good?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's good?
No, but enjoyable. Is
Enjoyable.
good. Yeah,
Certainly
yeah, yeah.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
It was almost like a Hellraiser that didn't want to make me want to vomit.
Oh, okay.
So
So does Sam Neill wear like head to toe latex at
take
some
that for what
point?
it's worth. You know what?
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes, he does.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Why is he doing that?
There's actually a moment in the movie, spoiler alert, for everything I've told you so far, and what I
Right.
say next about Event Horizon. There's a moment where they blast Sam Neill out of an airlock, so there's no way he can possibly come back,
Okay.
except that he does. And when he shows up, he is like
Badass?
No, I think he's like nude,
Oh.
and
You can see his Douglas and O'Neill's. Or Neil's. It's not O'Neill, right? It's just Neil.
It's just Neil. But he's like standing there looking almost like Freddy Krueger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like Sam Neill.
Yeah, I like him too.
Yeah, I like him.
It
He
was.
has a very charming Instagram.
You follow Sam Neill on Instagram?
I feel like it was like a thing that people like discovered, like, oh, Sam Neill's Instagram is like very charming. Like he like does fake interviews with like his garden gnome and stuff.
What?
This was even pre-COVID.
Oh no.
He's just having a bit of wholesome fun on there.
Oh.
It's good. Go look for Sam Neill.
Who else do you follow?
All kinds of people.
Tobin Bell?
I don't follow Tobin Bell. I wonder if he has an Instagram presence. I feel like he would do a lot of lives.
Maybe he's on TikTok.
Oh my God, maybe.
He does duets with people.
Well, he certainly does in the movie.
He sure
you
does.
could call that a bit of a duet. It is a dance.
It's a bit of a dance.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. A few other movie recommendations from me. Allie and I had watched Rear Window a good while back, and so we caught up with the sort of like the semi-modern spiritual remake, Disturbia.
Oh, nice.
Shia LaBeouf as a no good kid who's placed on house arrest, and while he's in his home with his ankle monitor, he spies out his window his neighbor who he believes might be a serial killer.
Sweet.
And he's not allowed to leave the house. He's got the ankle bracelet, but he can. He's like, in Rear Window, it's about Jimmy Stewart who's got a broken leg. So he physically cannot move. Shia LaBeouf can move and does. but he can't leave the property. And so he has to send his friends out to investigate the guy's house. And they, chat over video chat during it. And so Shia LaBeouf can see as his friend goes into the garage looking for this blue tarp that Shia LaBeouf thinks might be a dead woman. And then the garage door starts to close. And so Shia LaBeouf is helpless to watch as his friend gets trapped inside the killer's house. It's full of moments like that. And it's sort of silly and campy almost. It doesn't take itself very seriously. But then within these moments of levity where it's a bored teenager during a summer where he's not allowed to leave his house. And it's filled with stuff that no child has ever done. But he makes a tower out of Twinkies.
Right.
And just like your friend Sam Neill, he has garden gnomes that he interacts with outside. The things that children don't do,
right,
but movie children do. He does them, and so it's a little silly. But then the serial killer is unexplored in the movie and real dark. So I'm going to tell you about the serial killer MO within Disturbia.
I've seen Disturbia, but I don't remember it at all.
And I'd expect you not to.
Yeah.
Who remembers all of the events of Disturbia? It's almost candy.
Yeah, I remember enjoying it.
Right.
But I don't know.
Rear Window is a Hitchcock classic.
Yeah, totally.
Disturbia takes the bare premise and just makes a sort of fun movie that goes down smooth enough, but won't linger in your mind a whole lot. Except for me with this killer. So his neighbor, he believes, might be a serial killer because throughout the movie, there are reports of another woman's gone missing, and we're looking for a guy that drives, a blue Buick that has a busted front fender. That's exactly what his neighbor has. And the second that Shia LaBeouf notices it and tries to draw somebody's attention to it, the neighbor's gotten the bumper fixed. So, foiled. And so he starts to become the boy who cried wolf about the neighbor. Then one night, he's staring through his windows as his neighbor has a woman over. And the date seems to be pretty normal, except he can watch as the neighbor gets up from sitting on the couch with the woman and walks into the kitchen, and he's following him from window to window. And the neighbor goes in the kitchen and picks up a knife, kind of suggestively of violence, I guess. And he gets distracted or something, but he's terrified. He scrambles to get back to look at the house, and by the time he gets back to look at the house, the woman is now running through the neighbor's house, screaming and being chased by him, and he's got the knife. And then Shia LaBeouf's friend comes over and he tries to go no, look, it's happening right now. This woman's in danger. We've got to get somebody over there right now. And they look out the house, and the woman is leaving. She's leaving the house, walking casually.
The hell's going on
She
over
might
there?
even turn out to look back behind her shoulder and wave goodbye. And gets in her car and drives off. And they're like, was it some weird game they were playing? What? It's not until later in the movie that Shia LaBeouf himself goes into the neighbor's house, breaking the law.
Of course.
He's got that ankle monitor.
Yeah.
But as he's running through the house, he finds a hidden room where it's hinted that some of the bodies that have been found out in the world by this uncaught so far serial killer, it's suggested that they've been decomposed artificially, almost like they were kept in a basement. And so Shia LaBeouf ends up going through a series of hidden rooms in the guy's house. Literally, finds a hidden room.
Sounds claustrophobic.
Then finds a hidden room within the hidden room. And in one of the rooms of killer tools is a wig and a dress. So the serial killer knew he was being watched that night.
What?
Killed the woman.
And then left himself?
Left.
Like toodaloo.
Yes, because he knew that he needed to put on a show for Shia LaBeouf. Because he was
insane.
being watched. It's so broad. It's so big.
Yeah.
But then the next thing that happens is Shia LaBeouf ends up in the walls of the house where there are all of these bodies.
Yeah.
The man's house is lined with corpses.
Like in that, what was that movie? Like The Haunting in Connecticut?
A Haunting in Connecticut. Yeah, there are bodies just behind the wall.
Right.
And they can come spilling out. And so Shia LaBeouf almost and this is a Spielberg production as well. So like Poltergeist, where the mother of the family falls into the pool and all those bodies were there, real bodies. She didn't know. Shia LaBeouf ends up like falling into like giant, like.
How does he fall into a wall of bodies? Like, oh,
whoa!
Just like going backwards and staying there.
Yeah. No, he like falls into a pit, and there's like a bunch of like gray water in the basement, and there are bodies in it, and so he's interacting with the bodies like in classic sort of like Indiana Jones fashion. But like this guy has bodies all throughout his house and like in his basement and stuff.
Why did he even drop off any in the outside world?
I don't know.
Maybe he was full up.
And then Shia LaBeouf just kind of like defeats him, and the movie ends. And it's never like, you know how like at the end of like Psycho, they it's
they're
it's
like,
a little expository.
So it turns out that Norman Bates,
they
mother was
explain
dead.
it all,
right?
And it's a lot when they explain it, but it's like I kind of want to know, what was up with that guy?
Oh man,
they don't explain.
That's frustrating.
A damn thing.
Damn.
Another movie where they don't explain anything, and another sort of back-to-back. Allie and I watched a movie called Duel. This was Steven Spielberg's first movie.
Yeah.
It was originally meant to be a TV movie, except he so excelled at his job, and the movie was so well done that the studio decided to release it theatrically and had him go back and shoot enough scenes to bring it up to theatrical length so that it could be screened in theaters. So it's this movie. It's a totally mundane scenario. A guy is in his car and he has to drive, all day to get to the big meeting.
Yeah.
And he's impatient. And there's a trucker on the road in front of him. His truck is spewing out, this black toxic gas. The trucker's driving all slow. Come on, guy, you got to get out of my way. I got to get over there to the big meeting.
Sure.
And so the man in the car passes the truck. And that is all it took to piss off the truck driver, who maybe was even just out there like Jeepers Creepers.
Right, just waiting.
Just waiting for somebody to...
Or one wrong turn.
To transpire.
So what happens in one wrong turn? What's that thing where the truck driver is killing people?
Joyride.
Joyride.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is what we watched right after.
Oh, really? Yeah,
yes, because the same as, Rear Window to Disturbia, this Steven Spielberg, 2 cars, 2 drivers... trying to get the better of each other movie, which is so tense, so intense, and it's like it's full of suspense and dread. There's like a scene in the movie where the man in the car knows that he's being followed by the truck driver, and that the truck driver it starts with the truck driver just being aggressive on the road. He's going to try to push him out of his lane.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, the truck driver almost acts like, okay, I've messed with you enough.
Yeah.
And he waves. He does the wave to be like, all right, you can come around. You can pull around in front of me if you want. And so the guy's like, all right, finally. And so he goes into the other lane to speed to pass the truck. But the truck driver waved him on just as a car was coming the opposite direction. And the guy narrowly escapes crashing. So now it's becoming pretty clear that this truck driver...
He's not giving this up anytime soon.
And it seems like this stranger wants to kill him.
Yeah.
It's almost like Cape Fear, where Robert De Niro just kind of
just keeps
won't
coming.
Leave you alone.
Yeah.
Like the truck driver is just pushing it further and further, where he really could take this like guy and like get him to like drive off the road or crash or die. And
you can't get away because it's not like, a lot of times in scary movies where there's like a mysterious killer after somebody, like the best thing that could happen is that you somehow get to a car.
Right.
And get away.
Yes.
With this, you're already in the car. You're just going to keep going. Is this going to happen forever?
By the way, you can run out of gas.
Right, exactly.
Your car can overheat.
Yep.
The truck can overtake you going down a hill. Like there are so many different games at work in the movie.
Yeah.
It is so intense. So then Allie and I watched Joyride, which is the sort of modern reinterpretation, just like Disturbia to Rear Window. And it is Steve Zahn and Fast and Furious, Paul Walker.
Yep.
And Lily
Sobieski.
Sobieski. Thank you. And they are driving a car, and they have a CB radio, and they start toying around with the truckers, and they pretend to be called, because all truckers have handles.
Yeah.
In Duel, nobody talks. They can't communicate with each other, and you never see the truck driver or anything like that. By the way, highly recommend. But in Joyride, they talk to the trucker, who is played by Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, Ted Levine.
Ted Levine. And so they're like, "Oh, hi, are there any truckers out there? My name's Candy Cane, and I'm looking for a little comfort if there are any guys out there." And so you just hear somebody like, "Oh, well, I might be, I would be interested, I guess." They're like, "Oh, well, then why don't you meet us at this motel, the Four Leaf Clover Motel? I'll be in." And then they get to the Four Leaf Clover Motel. There's a jerk in room 13 who bullies them, so they get in touch with this guy. His name's Rusty Nail. His handle is Rusty Nail. And they go, "I'm in room 13. Don't even knock. Just come right in."
Not cool.
And so they embarrass Ted Levine, who shows up.
That's a man you don't want to embarrass.
No, and he spends the rest of the movie. They hear Ted Levine show up at the motel. They hear him walk into room 13 where the bully guy is. And they hear shouting and slamming and anger and possibly a fight. Who knows? And they convince themselves we couldn't have known what to expect.
Yeah, right. This has nothing to do with us. It's not our fault.
And in the morning, the police are there. Someone's dead. And they think the bully in room 13 killed the truck driver.
Yeah.
But no. When they get back on the road, they're flipping through the CB radio again. And then they hear a voice going, "Candy Cane, come in, Candy Cane."
Oh, my God.
And it's been hours. So you know that this guy has just been
this whole time.
driving around looking for them. And Kristen, he find them.
Oh, he find them? Is that what you said?
He find them. But so the entire movie from there is just Duel.
Yeah.
Like they knew what they were doing. They drive a 1971 whatever car,
Yeah.
which is when Duel came out. So they knew what they were doing.
Oh.
But it's very fun. It's modern in all the expected ways. It's a lot more obvious.
Yeah.
But Ted Levine as a frightening man.
I love Ted Levine.
At one point, he gives a monologue about embarrassment. He like makes Steve Zahn go into a hamburger establishment nude and order like 6 cheeseburgers, like something lame.
Yeah.
And Lily Sobieski is still in the car. He's like, "Leave the girl in the car." And he goes, "Now they know how it feels. The embarrassment. When the blood's rushing to your face, everyone's looking at you." Like he's just like so sick. And deranged. It makes your skin crawl.
I've seen that movie. I think I remember liking it, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I like it fine. It's
Yeah.
not an amazing classic or anything, but similar to like Disturbia, it's kind of a candy type movie where it goes down smooth enough.
Yeah.
It riffs on a classic concept that was done better decades ago.
Yeah.
But it does it well and modern. And it doesn't replace the original. It doesn't stand toe-to-toe with the original.
Yeah.
But you're going to have enough fun with it. And I felt like it was worth it.
I love movies like that, actually. I kind of like a familiar, like, well-worn concept that's sort of cozy.
Yeah.
And then they do a modern thing with it. Even if it's not great, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Now, so from there, did you go on a Lily Sobieski tear and watch The Glass House?
No, I forgot that movie exists.
This is where I should have put you from day one.
Is that what that is?
I think so, right?
What is that?
I think it's called The Glass House.
The Glass House.
I think so. I think it's Stellan Skarsgård.
The Glass...
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård. The Glass House, 2001 thriller mystery. After the parents of Ruby, Lily Sobieski, and her younger brother are killed in a car crash, their best friend's parents become their guardians. The children hear promises of a world of opulence.
Yeah, it's an opulent glass house. It's very fancy.
And California fun. Do you think that opulence and California fun are waiting for us? All they have to do is move into the Glass's gated house. Wait, their name is Glass and
Wait,
they live in a
what?
glass house?
Maybe the house isn't glass. Maybe I made that up.
Okay. Before very long, though, Ruby suspects that Aaron and Terry, the people, may not be the ideal guardians they seem to be. Okay.
Is it Stellan Skarsgård?
I would watch this. It's got 21 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm in.
So you know what that means.
Yeah.
I'll watch that.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. And yes, Stellan Skarsgård is in it.
He's scary.
And Diane Lane.
Oh, Always nice to see her.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you watch The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo during this time?
No, but I do really enjoy that story, and I like that movie.
He's good in that.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yep.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, that is him.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, me too.
The like very snowy, almost like dead, sterile
It's
feeling.
Norwegian.
Yeah, it is. But
Yeah.
it's also got that feeling of like everything around you is closed.
Yeah.
And so there's something claustrophobic, even though it's a great open space that Daniel Craig can explore.
Right.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot. That's David
it's good.
Fincher as well, right? And Trent Reznor did the score.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
a very good
It's
score.
a wonderful score.
Yeah.
I do have other stuff, but I don't want to bore you. Can I just give some recommendations?
Yeah, please.
So I played a video game called Control, which is very, very much inspired by the SCP Foundation, which we discussed on a previous episode of Guide to the Unknown. The SCP Foundation is basically household objects that are imbued with terrible power. And the rules that this SCP Foundation, this secure protocol, whatever, I forget what it's called, the rules that they have to use to keep everything locked down. That
It's
is-
Secure, Contain, Protect, I think, is
yeah,
SCP.
secure, contain, protect.
Yeah.
So that's the same as Control, where you go to the offices of the Federal Bureau of Control. If you're familiar with like one of those big skyscrapers in New York City that don't have windows,
Yeah.
and I think those are actually like they house like, servers or something for infrastructure. Maybe
Yeah.
they're not a real building, but
Right.
in this video game, they suppose that it's almost like a Men in Black scenario. You're not meant to know what's going on inside there. And so you're interacting with literally one thing that you can stumble across is a guy sitting in a folding chair staring at a refrigerator. And if you walk up to him, he'll go like, "Hello? Is anybody there?" It's like, "I can't turn and look at you. I don't even know if there's anyone actually there. Somebody was supposed to come replace me. They say I'm not allowed to stop looking at the fridge or something terrible is going to happen. Can you help me?" And then when you're finally able to like get into the room to try to help him before you can get in the room, all you hear in the video game is a bunch of screaming. And when you open the last door to get inside, the fridge is sitting there like nothing happened and the chair is empty. So the guy, I guess, blinked before you could
awesome.
help him. So it's like somewhat comedic.
Yeah.
But the entire game is like that. They're like big, ridiculous scenarios and a lot of things with horror influence to
Sounds
them,
good.
which are very fun. There's a new Resident Evil coming out, Kristen.
Yes, I have seen that.
Really? I kind of want to play some of it with you
Sure.
or something, maybe on a stream.
Yeah, I would do that.
So I've been playing Resident Evil 7, which came out 4 years ago, and I've only summoned the courage for it now. And also Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, which I want to tell you this. The entire game is about remorse
God.
and death. And
Okay.
the main mechanic in the game is that you learn a song called the Song of Healing.
Okay. Aw.
And it doesn't make people better.
Uh-huh.
It allows them to move on.
Move on. Yeah. Aw.
And so an early thing that happens in the game is this is done to you. The evil character, the villain of the game, turns you into this little shrub man. He's called Deku Link. It's like a plant man. And as you're, traveling around as this little plant man, you find a plant with a face, and a companion of yours goes like, "Huh, this looks a lot like you." And then later in the game, you meet another plant man who goes like, "You look just like my nephew who disappeared." And so the big theory is that every time you unlock something that transforms your form, you are taking on the appearance of somebody who's died.
Oh.
And so that like weird shrub that looked like you was the corpse of that man's nephew.
Oh.
And so the whole game is littered with people who are dead or dying, or like in
That
the
seems mean to do to the people who it's their loved one who died.
yeah. The entire game
That
has
doesn't
this
seem
like
very healing.
it has
That's like very jarring.
it's this like silly bright Nintendo game
Yeah.
that has the darkest undertones
Yeah.
like I could
That's
possibly
brutal.
imagine.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Enough of video games. I also watched the Poltergeist remake.
How was that? Did Sam Rockwell find an opportunity to dance? Or?
Now, I've got a theory,
Okay.
and I think we've talked about this here before. I'm not sure. The actor Sam Rockwell,
Yeah.
very talented, never stops dancing.
Undeniably.
Yes.
But yes, he never stops dancing.
He dances in Charlie's Angels. He dances in the Gong Show movie.
Yeah, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Yes. He dances in Iron Man 2.
Yep.
He dances when he shows up for late night shows.
Yes, William and I spent a long time just clicking different. I remember that was so funny. It's making me laugh now. We just kept clicking like different Sam Rockwell appearances on shows, and he always would come out from the curtain and be like, whoosh, doing a little dance like every time. So we were like rapidly clicking, and it'd just be him in different outfits on different stages dancing.
And it's always the same sassy disco dance.
Yeah, it's like 70s sort of thing.
It's the one 70s dance.
Yes.
But it's become clear to me that this is his secret talent.
Yes.
That is not a secret at all.
No.
Except that nobody ever vocalizes
I was about to
this.
say, nobody seems to be like taking him up on it.
He doesn't stop dancing.
Although I will say, he was, I think he was in, I didn't watch it, there was a TV series called Fosse Verdon that was like about a choreographer. Fosse.
Right.
And that was him. So I guess he was able to show off his skills. That was him, right?
He does, listen, he does it well.
Yeah, he does, but it is so ridiculous how often he does it, and apropos of nothing at all.
I know Fosse. You know why I know Fosse?
Why?
Fosse.
Yeah.
Martha Graham.
Yeah.
Martha Graham.
Madonna. But it's all inside.
Birdcage reference for
Yeah.
you all. Robin Williams.
Yeah, that was Sam Rockwell.
Was Sam Rockwell?
Yep.
So, okay.
So he, you know what? It paid off.
Yes.
He's been dancing across stages for decades, and he finally got to play a
Somebody
choreographer.
noticed.
Yes.
So here was the big theory. Allie and I were talking about this watching the movie. Poltergeist, the original. Craig T. Nelson. There's this like wonderful scene where the kids have all gone to bed, and the parents are now alone in their bedroom, and they're smoking a little pot, and they're laughing with each other, and they're flirting a little bit.
It feels like totally natural.
It feels so chill. It's like the most natural
Yeah.
family vibe I've ever seen in any movie
Great chem.
ever. It is like the most authentic letting your hair down with the person you've chosen to spend your life with scene of all
You're
time.
tired. You just put the kids to bed. It's a relief. You get to hang out with each other. It's
You're
so
kind of
nice.
goofing around.
Yeah.
So Allie's big theory, and I agreed with her. She had two theories that she was spot on about. But she was like, he's going to dance during the equivalent of that scene. Once the kids are in bed, he's going to dance. He's going to be with his wife alone, and the way that they show that their relationship is cool and that they're the cool parents is he's going to dance over to her.
But did he dance like that?
do you mean?
Because the way he usually does, like all jazzy with like lots of footwork,
70s
like
dance.
shoop-a-doop-a-doop.
Well, that's the thing. I've never seen him not dance
what I'm
with
saying.
elbows and heels.
I know. So I was thinking that
It's
like,
all staying alive. It's all disco.
yes, he stopped short of doing like the pointing your finger out and then down
Right.
thing, but he's always exactly that, elbows and heels, like going out and like really fast, like sliding across
Right.
the floor. I would think in like a fun over to your wife thing, it'd be a little like slow and goofy.
You would think unless he's trying to be silly.
Yeah. So what did he do?
He didn't dance there. He didn't dance there.
Okay.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's on the cutting room floor.
Okay.
He did pull off his pants at one point, and then his son interrupts him. So we almost saw Sam's Rockwell. But it was PG-13.
Damn.
So then Allie was like, okay, here's where it's going to happen then. It's going to happen when the house is clean. And it's going to be...
That would be so insane. That didn't happen, did
It's
it?
going to be part of the celebration that everything's fine.
Oh yeah. All right. That didn't happen, did it, William?
Stan's like, well, you gotta think about it. Like Sam, like the family in the original, they have a little silliness. The end of the original Poltergeist, and you gotta remember, the entire movie is like Carol Ann gets sucked into the TV.
Right.
TVs are the source of the trouble. The TV people are coming. They go to a hotel at the end of the movie, and the final thing you see is they all sleepily walk into the hotel room. It's like a gag. They're all so tired. They walk into the hotel room. They close the door. The door opens back up. Craig T. Nelson pushes the TV set out of the hotel room and shuts the door again.
They push Sam Rockwell out of the door.
It ends on a gag.
Yeah.
So we were thinking he's going to dance to show how happy he is that it's over.
There's no way.
Or maybe dance during the credits, you know, like when they show like bloopers,
Oh my god.
like in a Shrek movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just them like going across the bottom of the
Right.
screen while the credits roll.
Yeah.
He didn't dance.
Or you know that scene in the original where the chair scoots across the kitchen of its own accord? That's Sam Rockwell on his dancing feet. No, the most shocking thing happened of all time, Kristen.
Yeah, he didn't dance,
He
right?
didn't dance
Yeah.
anywhere in the movie.
Yeah. He must have gotten a note
I couldn't believe it.
because he
Or a cold.
dances all.
Maybe he was sick. Sam Rockwell doesn't stop dancing. And honestly, I would be willing to argue there was a time prior to me watching Poltergeist the remake, where I would have said he dances in literally everything he's ever
I
done.
think everything I've seen, he's danced. I bet he doesn't dance in that movie Moon that he's in, because I think he's in
Moonwalk.
space. Oh my God! You're right!
There's too much risk. There's so much risk
Yeah,
around
why
him.
would they hand that to him?
There's so much risk involved.
You're giving it to him on a silver platter.
It's true. But like, so this is the first time I've ever seen Sam Rockwell in something where he doesn't dance.
Yeah.
So I have to assume literally in everything else, he does dance.
I seriously think in everything I've seen him in, he's danced, and I'm
He
not
might
kidding.
have even told his agent, this movie underperformed, and it's the one that I didn't dance in. So
I've been rewatching
That's just my theory.
the Marvel movies in order. I lost it when he came out on stage.
he dances so much in that movie. He's
It is just so crazy.
It's crazy. Once I pointed it out, do you think you could ever unsee it?
No
He dances
way.
so much.
No way. I hadn't noticed it until you pointed out. It was years ago now, but you were like, this guy's always dancing. Or
I
whatever.
can't believe that they resisted the urge to have that be how they defeat Thanos. You know, when Captain America, he thinks that all hope is lost, and then the portal's open. Black Panther comes out.
It's him just wiggling out.
He's wiggling out. Can somebody who's a better editor than me make him wiggle out of the portal doing his little 70s dance?
Thanos just would have given up the whole thing. He's like, this is not a universe I want to rule.
Pack it up.
Forget it. That
Back
means
it
I have to
up.
deal with this guy. I'm this guy's boss.
Oh my, his boss.
Because Thanos was going to be like the boss of the universe.
Right, yeah.
No.
Anyway, there you go. That's what I've been up to. Now you know. Now you know. Are you happy?
Yeah. I hope you're pleased with yourselves.
I'm happy. I'm happy to be back. This
I'm
is
happy
quite
too.
frankly, this has been wonderful.
Yeah, I completely agree. This was great.
I do want to say for people that are listening in real time, if you are excited for more Guide to the Unknown with the great unknown future, together we all don't know what happens next.
Totally.
We can all decide together. This Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, Kristen and I are going to be going live on patreon.com/ GTTU pod.
Wow.
There's so many things that can come after a slash. I don't know what's going on anymore. But so we're going to be going live for our first planning session in a long time. We're going to decide what we're going to do for the month of May.
Yeah.
And so you can all be part of that discussion. If you're part of the Netherworld Warrior tier that starts at $4 or more a month, you can be part of that live stream. You can share with us what you want us to talk about this month.
Yeah.
It might make the cut. It might influence what we end up picking. And either way, you're going to get a sneak peek at what's coming.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
super cool.
So that, again, is this Saturday. And again, this is May 1st of the year 2021 for you future listeners at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Patreon.com/GTTU pod.
Yeah, we hope to have you there. And also, if you join the Netherworld Warrior level, you get a bonus episode per month. So at this point, I think there are like 18 bonus episodes.
And not only that, but we had 3 Netherworld dispatches come out while I was on parental leave. And the most recent one, Kristen and I competed
Yes.
in a series of horror games. And one of us won, the other one lost. And then we bought a cameo so that a celebrity, a surprise celebrity guest, could congratulate the winner and condemn the loser.
That's right. It's pretty awesome. So please head over to patreon.com/GTTUpod because it supports the show. It keeps it going. And as a thank you, you get a bunch of like really cool bonus stuff that you wouldn't be able to see or hear otherwise.
Yeah, and I've got another mouth to feed, so please.
Yeah, that's right. We need it.
Let's go. My baby needs a new pair of shoes. Who's going to pay for that? Me?
Yeah.
No, it's you. Let's go. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Follow at GTTU Pod on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to keep up to date with the show. See what we're doing when new stuff comes out. You can find links to all of the stuff that we do at gttupod.com. And you can even follow us online.
That's right. I'm at Chillin' Kristen everywhere on social media.
And I am at The Myth Traveler. So that's it. That's it. So
until next time, we must travel back to the Netherworld.
Who says what?
You say we must travel.
Oh, yes! But until we meet, I'm not even kidding.
I know, I don't think you're kidding.
I genuinely forgot.
Yeah, I don't think you're kidding.
I got to dust myself off.
That's all
All
right.
right. This was so much fun. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you once again. But until that time comes,
There you go.
we must travel.
Back to the netherworld, go we.
Back.
Yeah,
I'm
you're back, baby.
100%.
Yeah.
Back and at 100%. Better than ever.
That's right.
I dare say.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
I hope you enjoyed.
I know. I saw that chat like bumping and jumping the entire time.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, hit us with questions or something. I've only got like a few minutes. I want to run upstairs.
Yeah.
But if there's anything you wanted us to address or something we didn't see or a question or anything, hit us.
Eric, I got good news for you. FNAF is Five Nights at Freddy's, right?
Yeah.
We already did that, Eric.
Yeah, we did.
And since you are a patron, if you are at the moment, you have access to a spreadsheet that has all of our previous episode topics in it. So go into Patreon, go to the post feed or whatever, and there are categories at the top. There'll be a category that says directory or something like that. If you click on that, it'll bring you to that spreadsheet, and then just search for, I would search Freddy's. And you'll find out which episode it was.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, maybe we could update that too, because I think there are new games coming out all the time.
Sure.
We could do a follow-up to that. But yeah, check that out. That was a lot of fun to talk about.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I think we've also played that. I think I forced you to play that once.
Yes.
Yeah.
A long time ago. It was before Guide to the Unknown, actually.
Is that right?
I think so.
Oh my God.
I hope your move goes well, Christy.
Yeah.
Moving is quite something.
It sure is. Oh, I saw this. Kate said, evidently there was more than 30 minutes of footage cut from the movie Event Horizon that was lost and cannot be recovered because it's damaged.
That sucks.
That is so crazy.
What a bummer.
There couldn't possibly be a director's cut. That could never really happen again, you know?
Yeah.
That's so nutty.
Yeah, that sucks. Cool.
Ivy's Playlist B says, not a big fan of the Saw movies. It's my least favorite slasher series, but I'm down for anything with Samuel L. Jackson.
I mean,
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I like them, but I wouldn't say it's like a universal, like... I mean, nothing is, but like I totally understand not liking Saw.
Yeah, I think that there are a couple of pretty good ones and then a bunch of guilty pleasure ones.
Yeah.
You know, like you definitely feel that guilt.
Yeah, there's a lot of hurdles to jump. To drump.
Kate had said before when I was talking about the connection between Frasier and Candyman, a shiver just went up the back of some Frasier writer. My God, somebody finally made the connection.
Someone who truly gets him.
I can't believe that is so disconnected because Robitaille. So that year, the name
I've never
Robitaille,
heard that last name before,
I had
but...
never heard it before. And that year, in January, Frasier, and in August, Candyman, Robitaille was used as a killer name twice.
Yeah.
It is unlikely that it's random,
unlikely.
Right?
Yeah, but I do think it is random.
I think it's random.
But it is weird.
It is
It
weird.
definitely is unlikely. Yeah. Kit Kat said, will you ever do Haunted West Virginia? I don't see why not,
Why
honestly.
not? I mean,
I'll do
Wyoming.
Haunted anywhere.
Wyoming let us down. So
yeah, West Virginia, rise.
West Virginia, maybe it's time for you to rise soon.
Yeah. Eric is saying that there's a bunch of awesome like VR horror stuff. That's cool.
Huh. Yeah, I've still never really done VR. I did it
Yeah.
once in London, and I loved it. There's evidently also supposed to be a sequel to PlayStation VR for the PlayStation 5.
Oh, that's cool.
We almost got one for you this morning.
Really?
We got so close.
Well, thank you.
So close.
God damn it.
All right, everybody. I think that might do it for us.
Yeah. I have not heard of the Stanley Cup winner Luke Robitaille.
Well, he's probably...
I'm not much of a sports...
To be fair, he's probably also inspired by Dan Robitaille, the Candyman.
Probably.
One of his major inspirations.
Not much of a sportsman.
No. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming back with us.
Yeah, this was really great. I loved it.
Honestly, not many people go away for 3 months and then come back without hearing crickets or something like that. So thank you so much for sticking with us, everybody.
That is really nice.
We will see you next week. And
Yeah.
hey, maybe we'll see you on Saturday for that Patreon live stream.
That's right. We would love to have you.
Either way, hope you enjoyed the show.
Hope you did too.
Hope you're doing well.
I also want to say that you should check out Bethany and Dennis's work.
Yes.
They have a short film called Lonely Hearts,
That's
which
right.
you can watch if you go to either of their Instagrams now. I think they have it loaded to IGTV. And Bethany is from the podcast An Acquired Taste. I've talked about her a million times, but I love her.
1,000%. And you should be voting. Can we still vote, Bethany?
Oh, and the Webbies? I don't know.
For the Webby Awards?
I did vote.
Yeah, so did I. I don't know if we still can. Anyway,
No.
go vote for... worst comes to worst is people go and they can't do it.
Yeah.
Go look up the Webby Awards and vote for An Acquired Taste podcast. And go watch Lonely Hearts and look forward to the future of Lonely Hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ring-a-ding. Okay, you can still vote for the
Yes,
Webbies.
keep
Yep.
voting. Keep voting. Vote, vote, vote. All right, everybody.
All right, guys, we're going to go see that baby.
Hell yeah. All right, smell you later, everybody.
Bye. Oh, nice.